got my Minnie Mouse ears on.
I like it better in the dark though.
Right? Well, I got my little ring light on, and yeah, but it looked better in the dark though, didn't it?
Hi, girls.
Hi, Chris.
Sheila, what is that? You had that on before, that little sunshine necklace.
Yeah, it's just a ceramic necklace.
Very nice, very nice.
I love it. Zara's.
Oh my God, that's Zara too? That's Zara too? Well, let's get right into it. Jesus Christ. Married at first sight. And I'm just going to speak my mind. Look at here. I was over those brunches with their family members. I get it that they were able to get good insight, but I was like, fast forward. This is me. I was like, fast forward. Y'all ain't saying shit that I need to know. Let's get to the honeymoon.
Well, I like the fact that for them, we can see how they react to what their friends and family say is their issues.
Exactly.
Like when they say with Jose, oh, she's really sloppy and she's not really neat and she's not really good with songs. She just goes to school getting her master's. That's her thing. He's like, you can see he has a little look on his face whenever he doesn't like something. Whenever she says something that doesn't agree with him, you can see him go, you know what I mean? He has a little stink face.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he does have a nice little stink face.
So there are red flags going everywhere and rainbow flags for Jose.
Total rainbow flags. And the fact that when her family said to him, oh, you got to see her car. She crashes into things. And he was like, say what now? Like, so apparently her family threw her under the bus saying that she drives a hoopty and she's not the most responsible driver.
I was thinking that they were saying her car was filthy inside.
That's what I thought.
Oh, no, they said, no, her mother, it was that, and her mother said she crashes into things. And I was like,
yeah, her mother said that, but I think the way the other woman was saying it was like her car is filthy.
Right.
Because that was along with the lines about how she just doesn't wash dishes, or, you know, she just goes and cooks and then just goes and study. So, you know, and just leaves things. So I took it as
that's
her
going to be
car.
an issue. That's going to be a real issue. And what's with the brushing of the teeth?
Oh, when he said, "Can I brush your teeth?" I fell the fuck out. I was like, no.
I was like her because I had to rewind it because I was just like, wait, what?
Right. It's confusing. Like, is that a joke that he's just trying to be, or is, because she was always like in her talkback, she's like, yeah, I think that was a little odd, right?
Mm-hmm. It wasn't a joke because he was like, "Can I brush your teeth?" Because he brought his electric Sonicare toothbrush, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I have an electric toothbrush too, but I'm traveling and I don't want to carry that with me." So I
have you ever?
And he was all in there. He's like, "Can I brush your teeth?" And I was like, "Ooh, no, boo boo."
Have you ever shared a toothbrush with somebody?
Never.
I had this girl I dated years ago, and she was like, and then no, wait, and she took my toothbrush. I said, "What are you? Wait! What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, we just get." I was like, "You can have that brush." You're like, "That's your brush now."
You keep.
I think that's nasty.
To me too, and I had the same exact reaction.
I think that's nasty.
No. You don't touch my toothbrush. I don't even want you. I have my little top on it. Don't take the top off. Leave it. Don't touch it.
No. And I have the Sonicare toothbrush too. Mm-hmm. And I'm like Rachel. Is it her name, Rachel?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm that way. I have my Sonicare and I have multiple toothbrushes. I don't carry my Sonicare with me when I go on vacation or do whatever. Mm-hmm. I carry my toothbrushes in, their things, their containers. But what you ain't gonna do is ever touch my toothbrush. Bless you, Jada. You can't touch my toothbrush. No, I draw the line. And you ain't gonna look at me and say, "Can I brush your teeth?" I will slap the teeth out your mouth. The teeth that you have. And let's not get on the fact that Jose, am I the only one that is like disgusted? I can't even look at him. He outlined his lips. with the white lips, and pink
a
lips,
whole manicured face.
a whole manicured face.
Like it's not.
My face is manicured. My face is manicured.
No, sir. It's all nice
Not like
and
that. Not like that. We like it scruffy. You know what you're doing.
I does he have a body too? I think he has a body, right? He works out, right? I think he's got some abs.
He has a nice,
he's got a nice little body.
chest.
He's a little short. He's a little short dude.
But how short do you think he is? Because I can't tell what his height is, but he looks short to me.
He's like 5'7", 5'6", 5'7". He's short.
Really? Okay.
I would
she's his height.
I think he's like 5'7".
She's his height.
Yeah. With heels
when they're walking down the aisle, they're like this. And I was like, oh, okay.
With heels on, though. She had heels on.
Mm-hmm.
Under her dress?
Yes, she had heels on. And she made that comment during the wedding. She's like, oh, I'm glad that I'm able to wear my heels and not feel some sort of way. Because I'm like, yo, you towering over his little ass. I already know my ass. My ass is towering over him. Huh?
I'm still unsure about the gay part with him. Like, if he's...
I don't know. He's just weird.
I think, yeah. Like, he has strong feminine qualities.
He has overly gay tendencies. He is an OGT. He's got overly gay tendencies.
And another one of my friends, besides my sister, said he's gay. Another one of my friends said the way he enunciates the way he says things, you can tell he's gay.
And he licks his lips. Did you guys peep that? Where he's talking to her or talking to whoever in his family or whatever, and he does this like he licks his lips. He's like an LL Cool J with his lipping or
he's licking him, or like he's doing something inside his mouth. Because what you just
he's
did
like
was
inside his mouth with his tongue, but you can see his tongue. You can see the like.
I do this all,
and I'm just like, ew, that's just wrong.
So let me ask you a question, because since you all think that he's gay, what if he comes out and he says that he's bisexual?
We're done here. Because you got to be open and honest. Because I don't think Rachel will be down for that. I think Rachel wants her husband and all that. If you are bisexual or non-binary or whatever the fuck.
No. If he says that he's been bisexual, but he's into his marriage and he's into women now.
But I don't think he said that in the beginning. I don't think he said that in the beginning with the selection process. He never said that.
No, I'm saying hypothetically, what if, because you all think that he's gay. And I'm like,
I think he is.
I don't know.
But listen, I'm just going to say this. If he comes out and says that he's bisexual,
or I'm done with him. Or however it works.
I'm done with him. With him. Because you can't do that. You can't perpetrate a fraud. You got to let me know. And I'm just saying this as I'm not against bisexual people, LGBTQ, whatever the hell, or non-binary, whatever the fuck. It is what it is. You do what you do. But I like what I like. And you can't come at me after the fact and say, I'm this person. Because now we have a problem.
So his past lovers or relationships, if there was a man in it and he was involved with you now, is that just like a total deal breaker for?
Total deal breaker. Unless you've come to me and had that conversation with me.
Yeah, but when would he have the conversation with her? He just got married.
Yeah,
I know. But again, I'd like to think that the experts, if he is that dude and he's had sexual relations with another man and he's bisexual, I'd like to think that the experts would say to Rachel, hey, he wants a woman, but they
haven't talked to them at all. They haven't talked to them at all.
Who?
The relationships expert haven't talked to the people at all. Beyond them, before they got married, that's when they talked to them. They haven't talked to them since.
Yeah, but they talked to them in the initial stages.
Right.
So that should come to the table. Like when you're
you think that they would ask them straight out? Do you think that they would ask them straight out in the process?
Right.
Are you gay? Are you bisexual? I mean, I think that's a good, legitimate question.
I mean, I think in this day and age, you should, because you don't know. Like, we're living in a world today where, like, I mean, the three of us are of a certain age. We don't know any better. But these younger generations, it's like, you have to know, are you straight? Are you gay? Are you bisexual, non-binary? Are you just willing to get all up in that shit? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with both of y'all. If I met the man of my dreams tomorrow, and whether it be married at first sight or whatever the fuck, and then all of a sudden I think he's all into me as a woman, and he's a heterosexual man, I'm a heterosexual woman, and then like 3 months down the road I'm feeling him, and then he comes at me and he's like, well, I'm really bisexual. We have a problem here.
That is, Miss. You got to say it up front as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe he doesn't even realize that he's gay. You know what I mean?
Maybe
you all clearly see, and other people watching are clearly saying, okay, I think this person is gay. So what do you think the professionals? I'm like, how does that skip over them? That has to be part of the process where you ask that question.
That's what, I don't think they asked that question. That's why I'm saying,
like the previous season with not Chin and Elf.
Yeah.
Chin
and Elf. Exactly.
I felt like, okay, he was
gay.
Not like women.
Right. At what point what point, professionals, do you say, when you're talking to the man or the woman, at what point do you say, are you gay? Or do you have overly gay tendencies? Or are you bisexual?
I don't think, you know what? I don't think they're that good at they've been doing this for what, 13 seasons now, whatever. I don't think they're that good at figuring out people's personalities before they put them together. I think a lot of it is, I think they put people together hoping that they're going to be a good match, but kind of like, oh, this could be a red flag. That could be good for TV. Because we saw from last season a whole bunch of personnel. They had to have known Chris Williams was a narcissist and this, that, and the other. Exactly. They had to know that Elf was a little bit, in Santa's workshop. They need to, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure that they have to know that Mryla is a high maintenance biatch.
Well, let's start from there. Let's go through the couples. Let's start with Mryla and Gil.
Mryla, we just finished them. Jose and Rachel, so we can move on to who?
Oh yeah, Rachel and
with Jose and Rachel also. She's a little bit. She wants it so bad. She's like, he's perfect. He's amazing. He's wonderful. I'm like, slow your roll, baby. Slow your roll. He's perfect. He's amazing, and he's kind of like, yeah, like this, yeah. Oh, by the way, there's an interview thing after the show now where they have 3 of them in a panel, and the girl from Jamie interviews them about that episode. So I was watching. It was Jose, Michaela, and Johnny talking about that episode and talking about things that happened.
So now I gotta watch that shit now.
Yeah, so you can get it kind of. And he was like, oh, he's perfect. And he's like, you're perfect. He's like, I don't, it's nice of her to say at that time, this, that, and the other. And I was like, yeah, I don't, she's way too wanting it so badly. I think she really, really wants it badly. And
of course she does, because she said he's my soulmate. Did you watch in the episode when she's like, oh, he's everything that I asked for. He's my soulmate. And I was like, what the fuck is that? He's not your soulmate. You don't know what a fucking soulmate is. You just met his ass and married him a day ago. Like, you don't know. You're not sure if he's your soulmate. It's just the grandiose. It's like the friggin' dream. Like, she just wants to dream. Just like Zach, he wants to dream. I just want to be married. You don't give a shit.
She wants it because she just came out of a bad situation. She has had no time to get over anything, and so she
lost all that weight too.
But
she had that weight too.
Lost all that weight.
Yeah, and I feel like
It's
she
her
is
teeth.
that person that just wants to get over whatever happened before, and she just ran into it, and which makes me say these experts. How do you pick somebody who's still, in my opinion, in a vulnerable state?
Right, 6
When
months.
you just rushing
out of a relationship that you were committed in, and now all of a sudden you're willing to flip the script and marry a man that you don't even know. That's suspect to me.
It should be to the experts.
Well, you would think, but again, it's TV. It's Lifetime TV, and that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any closing thoughts on them too?
I don't think they're gonna make it.
Yeah. Are we giving it?
We didn't do the thumbs up. Yeah, listen. Let's go to the next couple. Let's go. Look at here. Let's go to. I know everybody wants us to go to Mryla and Gil, but let's save them.
That's a quick one. That's a really Mryla and Gil is a quick one. Mryla and Gil is a quick one, really, because it's so blatantly obvious that she is selfish, high maintenance, wants what she wants when she wants it. Even her, and he is really trying to work with her. He's like. And I applaud Gil for saying
how she talked about the hotel. It's like
she talked about the hotel, and he said the honeymoon should be about us and not about where we are, but about. She's like, I didn't expect my honeymoon to be like this. She was wedding to the Bahamas or Jamaica. It's in COVID. That's the only place they could probably get, safely. That's the only thing they could probably do. And where are they going to fly to? They can't do foreign places right now. So the Florida Keys is where they decided to go.
Other than infested Florida, but okay.
But where else would they go?
Exactly. But
here's Puerto Rico. Would have been better.
I don't think they would be having flights into Puerto Rico.
Why?
Well, maybe, I don't know. Just because of COVID. I think there's a big COVID recession anyway. But how she is just. I do not like her.
Mryla wasn't trying to. Again, you sign up for a show like this. You signed up for it. Then you gotta fucking pay your dues, bitch. When they sent, the box where they were like, oh, the Mrs. and the Mrs. Caps, the mask.
Oh, I can't.
She was like, yeah, I ain't doing that shit. I ain't doing that shit.
Because of her hair, right?
Yeah, it was her hair. There was her eyelashes.
He didn't want to wear the mask. He wasn't trying to wear the hat, and he's putting on the hat. And I'm like, bitch, put the fucking hat on. You signed up for it.
He even gave her an option of saying, well, we'll get you a visor. I don't like visors.
I don't wear visors.
I was done with her. And here's my thing with Mryla. This is the only thing I'm going to say with Mryla. Because I love Gil. Gil is that dude. Gil is that good dude.
I like him.
He wants his wife. He wants to do his thing. He makes his money. I mean, he may not be making as much as her, but whatever. But he does his thing. And I'm worried that Mryla is going to taint his ass so bad that they're not going to stay married. And then he's going to turn into a dick. And then he's going to be that dude forever.
I don't think he will. I think this is going to
all the good women.
I think it's going to solidify what he wants and who he is, because he hasn't fallen for her beauty or this, that, and the other. He has been like, hey, even when he met with those three dudes, which was an interesting thing, the brother and the best friend and that other dude, I don't even know who the other dude was. And they were kind of like, he's like, oh, I thought they was going to be with the girls. This would be easy, just like, and I think they all took offense to that. The easier, no, we're all going to like, what's, and he was just like, he was like this. He was like, what? I'm like,
remember when her brother like basically threatened him and was like, I'm like, this is how it is. Cause that's my sister or whatever the fuck he said. But I
don't even think that was her biological brother. Didn't he say he was like her brother?
Yeah, that's her brother. That's her brother.
No, I think he said that was her brother. The other guy said he was like a big brother to her. The black guy said he was like a big brother to her.
Yeah.
And And I think those two dudes wanted to hug her and didn't have a chance to hug her, so they went in the friend zone because Mryla was not having either one of those. So
can I say
go ahead,
one thing about Mryla? And I know somebody else was saying she's very high class, right? And I know that is, subjective. I don't know what she would think high class is, but I don't get that from her. And she's not as attractive as she really thinks she is. But kudos to you. Pump yourself up, sis. But it's the rudeness. She was rude to his people. And again, that whole thing about her just wanting to do and be, and I'm not going to tame myself. It shows an ugly person to go to that place, that hotel, and be like, oh no, this is like a nursing home to me. I would never have picked this. You meet somebody, and the first impressions you want to get are you being like
your
negative.
Best behavior.
That make her look like I travel better than this. Well, that's another time. This is a whole free trip.
Right.
A whole free trip.
Enjoy it.
Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and I was like, we were catching up on this because she likes Married at First Sight too. And I was like, the first thing with Mryla is I'm like, bitch, you ain't pay for that shit. That's fucking lifetime paying for that shit. So
did you know
it might be funny that you're in that hotel, but you didn't break out your fucking Amex. You didn't break out your cash to get there. So enjoy it. You married a man. Like if I married at first sight and I get along with him, I don't give a fuck what room we're in or what the view is on our balcony.
It's about the honeymoon. It's about them being together. It's about
the honeymoon. Yeah, exactly. I just want to get to know you. We have a clean room. We're happy and we're good. So let's friggin' have some drinks on the balcony. When he brought her out on the balcony, when Gil brought Mryla on the balcony, and she's like, he's like, let's order some food and a bottle of wine. She's like, the neighbor's balcony is so close. And I was just like, bitch, really? What do you give a fuck about them? They ain't even on the balcony.
Even when she was talking to his people, and they're like, he loves animals. Well, they're dirty. I don't want to clean them after them. He's like, well, he liked this. And he's a great dog. You'll love the dog. Not if he shits and poops. I'm not gonna. And I was like, wow, you're not even trying to make a good impression on people at all. Not trying to ingratiate yourself to the family or the friends at all. So,
and her face her face is a constant smelling of sweet shit. Like she always has that face like she's smelling some shit. Like she's like,
And that's not classy. Classy is being able to adapt and enjoy every moment.
Even if you don't like it. This is what your ass signed up for. Fake it to make it.
But also, too, I understand you want to be your full self to people, but if that's your full self to this man,
just imagine.
That's horrible. And I think you could see some of his facial expressions. Like, I don't see him being able to take much of her.
No.
I don't see him able to take much of her.
Because I can see him.
He's going to try, but he's going to do the most with her because he wants to try. But I guarantee you, this is not going to work for them. And then he's going to turn into a classic dick. I hope he doesn't.
He's not going to turn. I don't think he's going to. I don't think she's going to turn him into a dick. I think he just sees her for what she is. Yeah. He's not an idiot. I think he sees her for what she is. And even in the discussion of finances and this, that, and the other, asking her about her dudes, is she high maintenance? He's like, oh, there's something that sounds like she's high maintenance. All right. And they didn't say, I know, but they didn't say, yeah, well, you got to watch, they didn't back him up or this, that, and the other. That is high maintenance. She's totally high maintenance. Totally high maintenance. Everyone can see that. Completely. So that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work.
That's not gonna work.
And I always try and find something in people that makes me say, well, maybe they're like this because, or maybe she's hiding or running from something. There's just nothing likable about her.
Nothing.
And if she has some trauma that made her this way, I don't even care.
They're not going to have sex.
The fact that he opened up to her
You don't think so?
about his dad's murder. He opened up to her about his father's murder. And here's what happened. You have a commonality with each other. Both of y'all's fathers was murdered. And he admitted to her how his father died. Murdered. Somebody came in the house. He was a 14-year-old boy, and somebody came in the house and literally shot his dad to death. And he opened up, and he says to her, "So tell me about your dad." And she's like, "Yeah, we're not gonna have that conversation." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
And then he brought it up the next morning.
Your father was murdered. So give him that. He wanted that.
It'd be one thing if she in the next morning had said, "Okay, well, let me tell you about what happened to me in my situation." But he had to say, "So, because I want to know, you tell me about what happened with your father." You know what I mean? Yeah. She's just, it's all about Mryla. It's all about her.
He had all about her. Out of her. And I would never let a man do that to me. Go ahead, Shanita.
I kind of understood her in that moment because I'm not a forthcoming person with anything that upsets me. You know, I'm like, I hold stuff in, and somebody else telling me doesn't necessarily mean that I'm ready to tell mine. So I get that, but it's how she does it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a way to do it, and she's just very disrespectful, and it's just like she has a black soul. It's totally. I just don't like her, and I don't.
I'm a firm believer of the eyes are the window to the soul. Like, eyes tell everything, and she is just. It's just. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't tell everything, but
I always look at everybody's eyes. When I meet people, I always look into their eyes.
But if you're trying to bond with someone, you know what I mean? If you're really trying to bond, you don't know this person. You are married to this person.
You married them.
They're going to find out eventually. So if you're married,
all of a sudden you literally exchanged wedding vows with this man. So for me,
she did just
signed up. No,
but that should be even more of an impetus for her. Should be even more of an impetus for her to really open up to him, even though it may be hard. A man just shared his feelings about something that happened just like her. He opens up to her, where it's usually the reverse, where she said, "My father was killed, and let me tell you what happened." And if she said to him, "What happened to yours?" I don't really want to talk about it. It was the reverse, and she should be like, "Oh wow, that's really, maybe we can talk about it another time. I'm not feeling it right." She didn't say, "I don't want to talk about it."
That's what I'm saying. It's how she said it. I wouldn't have said it like. There are many conversations I have had where I'm like, I'm just not ready to go there right now. But I'm not going to shut you down completely and not give you anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's like, what? Were you born in a barn? Were you not around people? I mean, raised by wolves? She has no class.
I think her whole thing is she grew up really, really, really poor, and she doesn't ever want to feel. This is her thing. She doesn't ever want to feel poor again. So everything has to be extra, extra, extra. That's why she wants a man who has a lot of money that just wants some arm candy. That's going to let her have her own lifestyle that she wants. She doesn't really want a husband. She wants a man to take care of her and assist her in what she wants to get. So.
You're right.
Mryla is a dime a dozen. There is nothing super, super beautiful about her. If that was the case, she would have already had her sugar daddy.
Well, you would like to think,
she's
not that cute.
She's a nice looking woman. I'm not going to take that from her, but sis, calm the fuck down.
They're not going to have sex.
You don't think so?
They're not going to have sex. Nope. No.
What did you say?
They're not going to have sex.
Well, we are.
They're not going to have sex because she's going to be like, she's the type of person like, I'm not going to have sex until I know that She feels like she's surprised. They're not gonna have sex, and he's gonna be like,
that's it. She really feels like she's this big prize, and that she has so much going on in her little ass fucking apartment that she
exactly
whatever.
Dude, and he's like, I don't think this is gonna work because as a firefighter, you know, she might be that woman that be like would want that man in her life all day, every day. Firefighters, it's not that life. You know what I mean?
She doesn't want him all day, every day.
I don't think she wants him at all.
At all.
And she's not going to be able to relate to his friends.
No,
we already seen how she has I don't think, I think his people are too middle of the road for her. She wants something entirely different.
Yeah,
so, yeah. I don't understand.
She is everything
what the experts saw in this, because
she is everything that he didn't want in the beginning when he's like, I don't want that Instagram model that's all about, taking pictures for likes and follows, and I don't want nobody that's so materialistic where it's all about the money.
That's what she is.
And
let's forget her. Let's not talk about her anymore.
Of what he wanted.
I don't want to give her my energy anymore. Who are we going to next?
Yeah, there's nothing more.
Let's go to Brett and Ryan, because I need to know. I need the next episode for them to release the footage. I don't give a fuck about Brett and Ryan, but all I'm saying is Ryan shut his ass down when they were laying in the bed in Florida, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I don't like to fly," and he's like, "Yeah, I already know that." He was so turned off on her. Something happened on that plane where she showed her ass.
Well, he said if they were dating and she had acted like that on the that would have been the last
first date, and she showed up on if that was their first date, he'd be like, "We're done." And she was trying to have a conversation with him laying in the bed in the Florida Keys, and he was just done with her. And I'm like, I need this video to be released of how
they
she
even have video. It doesn't seem like they did on the plane.
Say again?
I said I don't think there is video of them on the plane. They might be maybe a little, because I'm thinking they would have showed
video on the plane when they first
got on, when they were boarding. Yeah.
Yes. And then when they were sitting in the chairs, there was a little bit. There was like a little, like maybe a 10-second clip of them on the plane. But then it went fucking south. I need to know what happened on that plane where she showed her ass, because he even said it in his confessional. He's like, yeah, if that was our first date on that plane, he's like, I'd be done with her. And then he was like, I
really just want him to shave, just to clean his stuff up. He looks like a serial killer.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like he would. And he has a really, really weird look in his eye too, because he's kind of like
he looks stunted.
You know what I mean? He's like, that ain't gonna work.
That's not gonna work. But back to the conversation of the plane ride. He was saying, like, he was like literally giving his confessional. He's like, she was acting like if there was a child acting that way, I'd be done. And I'm like, oh, Lifetime, y'all need to pull this footage. I need Lifetime to pull the footage of how that bitch acted on that plane, because he was done with her. Done with her. Laying in bed with her, and she's talking to him about it, and he's just like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. And I'm like,
I agree with you totally, because I would love to know what happened, because he just seemed really, really put off. But there was something else she did too. I mean, he's so awkward, which still, I'm like, how do you date all these women? You're so awkward. He doesn't seem to know how to have a conversation eye to eye. You know what I mean?
Well, because he dated all these women because he dated the same women. Like, his friend told Brett that he has a type, which is probably the
potato. She called it a potato.
Yeah, the potato. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed, little potato bitches. and there's nothing up here, no substance up here, and he dates them, and then turns out that it's not a match. So then what does he do? He doesn't take time for himself. He goes and dates the next bitch. That's why he's a serial dater. But now he's with
Brett. He doesn't even seem like he can like pick somebody up at a bar. He just there's no art of conversation to him.
Right.
He's the first one in all the 13 seasons that I think that was in the bed the first night without a shirt. I don't remember anybody else.
But I didn't realize it was like the first.
I don't remember anybody else not being like in a t-shirt to make them feel comfortable, a t-shirt, or whatever. I think he was in his drawers, his tighty whities or boxers, and that's it.
I hope it wasn't.
I agree with you on that one, Chris. I agree with you on that one. I think he was.
And I was like, "Ooh, that's not." And he was a little bit. He was a little. Did you hear what he said about? He said, "Yeah, you kissed me twice, so now I should kiss you." And I was like, "Ooh, you're like
something like you owe me, or I'm owed one."
Right now, it's my turn. He's like, "Ooh, he's creepy. He's creepy to me."
He's very creepy. They're all creepy. With the exception of Gil. I'm taking Gil off the table. Gil's my boo-boo. Gil's my boo thing. All the rest of them, creepy as fuck.
I like Gil, and I think I will like him better when I see him check her. Because there has to come a point where he has to shut her down.
Yeah.
She's not going to be willing to be shut down. She's so far over.
Him shutting her down is walking away from her.
And I don't even think he's gonna check her. I think he might say some shit to her, but I don't think he's gonna go so far to be like, really, bitch, and put her in her place. I think he's just gonna either walk away.
When I say check her, say, you are not the one for me. I don't like this and I don't like that. He probably won't do it. He might be classier than me.
I don't think he won't
have to say anything.
Because he could say that to her. She's so ignorant that he could say to her, I'm a classy man. This is, money ain't everything to me. I make my money. Because to some people, money is everything. And to other people, I make my money and pay my bills, but I want my happiness. Like Gil. And she was disgusted with him on that shit. And when he said that shit. And I just have a feeling that I don't think that's just going to work with them. I think she's going to say something.
I think we all agree on that.
And he's going to try to be a good man and a respectful man and hold his tongue. And I have a feeling that eventually he's going to just fucking go unleash on her ass, or he's going to shut down. He's either going to shut down, or he's going to shut down, and he's going to shut down and be like,
it's not my thing. I'm trying. I'm going to be civil, but it's not my thing. I mean, that's what it's going to be. And I hope he has
all the rest of the professionals. He ain't going to have a conversation with her. He's going to shut down, and he's just going to talk to the professionals.
I hope that they can at least put her in check a little bit too, the professionals, and say to her, hey, because all she does is complain. Anyway, forget Mryla. I won't talk about Mryla and Gil anymore. So Brett and Ryan. What's his name? Ryan?
Brett and Ryan, yes.
He's creepy. And I think she's
her too. You don't think? Did anybody get a vibe on her?
A little bit.
On her is she might be a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I think so too. On the wedding when he was like, let's two-step, and she's like, yeah, I don't do that. But
I think he was forcing that. He was like he judged her on it. Like, you don't two-step? She's like, no, I don't. That's not my thing. I mean,
yeah, because she doesn't like country. But at the end, that's not his fault, and that's not her fault. That's a professional's fault. What the fuck? How do you not vet these people to say?
But you don't know how people are going to react to each other. You don't know how people are going to react to each other.
And I just feel like number one, I don't like country. Number two, I'm not two-stepping. Number three, I'm not hunting. You see how disgusted she was when she was talking to his friend, and his friend like, oh yeah, he likes to hunt. And she was disgusted. Like, yeah, no, I can't go sign on that shit. I'm not going hunting with you motherfuckers. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know if she was like full on. I don't know. I there's just like little bits and pieces of her that I just think that it's going to be interesting because he's so awkward and creepy, but there's something kind of off about her too. But I haven't been able to nail it. The plane thing, I understand if there are people who are like really petrified of like taking the plane, but girl, get you something to knock your ass out so that you don't like, sit there for three hours or whatever. And what's a flight from Houston to Florida got to be like what?
2 hours?
An hour and a half, 2 hours?
An hour and a half. Well, because you're going to the Florida Keys. They flew to Miami, and then they had to fly from Miami to the Florida Keys. Mm-hmm. So that all in general, that was probably like maybe a 2.5 hour flight.
But she at least acknowledged the fact that she appreciated his patience with her on the flight or whatever. And she says it's not like she doesn't like to travel. It's just the plane part that freaks her out. But he should have also a little bit compassion for her. Right. He's getting to know her and how he can help her out. But I'm telling you, he's trying to fuck on the honeymoon.
All day.
He was trying to fuck the first night. He's trying to fuck the whole weekend.
Yeah.
He's down. And you hear him say he's a sexual person. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
When they were at the Florida Keys, he's like, I'm a sexual person. He was mad because he had his hair across his ass because they were going to bed. She's like, oh, I'm tired. Let's go to bed. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, oof, he's creepy.
He's so creepy.
Yeah, I don't.
He's not fuckable. I'm sorry. He's a good-looking dude, but he's not fuckable. Sorry, not sorry.
He, like I said, he doesn't have the art of flirting. How do you?
Well, for someone that's a serial dater, he should have the art of flirting, but he doesn't. He's just a man whore.
But back to your point, Chris, about him having more compassion for her. I agree on the plane, but we don't know what the fuck she did on that plane.
Right.
Because there's only so much patience I'm going to have for a grown ass person on a plane if they showed out in public like that. Mm-hmm.
Because he likened her to a child. He was like, I could deal with that if there was a child on the flight acting up like that. He's like,
basically, if you know, then there's stuff that you can do to get yourself like calm and relaxed. Girl, get some edibles, something.
Get some Xanax. Take a fucking one Xanax. All you need.
I think she really showed her. I think she did her real white girl breakdown.
Oh, she went full Karen.
Something happened.
Who are we going to next? I'm giving them a thumbs down now too.
I give them a thumbs down. Let's go to we did
Johnny. You want Johnny and Val?
Okay.
Ba, 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 ba. Listen, I love Johnny and Val.
Uh-huh.
They give me all the feels for the simple fact that I love the fact that their whole family, the whole culture thing. I have literally watched their wedding, and I've been to weddings of people and friends and family members that have been together for 3, 4, 5 years and planned their wedding. Johnny and Val's wedding is the best wedding I've ever been seen in a minute. Just because of the culture aspect of it. And the best part about it was the tea ceremony. And then the
that's all past stuff. We're beyond that.
No, but when they went to the honeymoon suite and his sister literally draped the bed of the Chinese, the blankets and all that. I loved all that.
Yeah, but now we're in the honeymoon, and now she ain't trying to. I think she's really uptight.
She is
really uptight.
I don't think she wants to. I think her and Johnny are doing the horizontal hustle and
No.
making out. Nope,
No.
but they're not doing it on camera.
He said
I think that
like
she
kissing
does
his
not
sister.
want. I think that
He
she does
said
not
it's
want to
like
do this shit on
kissing-
camera.
He said it's like kissing his sister.
Oh
yeah, that's right.
Like kiss, and they're establishing their friendship right now, and he's being respectful of this and the other. But it's like kissing his sister. There's nothing and they're working out, and he's going to take the time and something and the other. It is vanilla sex, but they're not going to have sex until for a while. He said, "No, we can take it slow."
I personally, for this episode, saw a lot of red flags with them.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly with her. Mainly with her,
yes.
Mainly with her. I see him, being patient, and him even like, wow, like what did she react like really crazy on? The gift that he gave her.
Yes.
And they were, and we saw that, and I was 100% on him. Like, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, because if you react that harshly to a gift that somebody gives you who really doesn't know you, and like she pretty much had like a little breakdown over it. Her brothers were saying,
yeah, she did, and the fact that her brother. Remember the episode yesterday when her brother said to Johnny, I can't remember quote unquote, but he basically was like, "That's my sister."
Patience.
Yeah, patience, and I don't want you to have to see my bad side. Remember the brother said that? Her brother said that to Johnny. He's like,
I thought that was Gil.
That was Gil.
That was Gil's.
No, that was Bao's brother. Bao's brother said to Johnny, I don't want you to see my bad side.
No, that was Gil.
No, that was Gil.
That was Gil.
It wasn't. It was Johnny.
It was Mryla's brother. Anyway.
Oh, it was Merlin's brother. I'm wrong. I take it back. It was Merlin's brother when he's like, I don't want you to see my bad side.
So
sorry.
The fact that they put the pillows in, she does not like to be touched.
Right.
She's hope, and I think it's interesting. I think she's hopeful that he's really patient and she really wants it, but I think she's so far in her shell, and it's going to be really hard for her to open up, because I just like her 3 engagements, she's always been in control, and she's afraid to be out of control. That's what it is. She is so fearful of not being in control. That's why she called up. She was in control of all 3 of her relationships that she ended, and she's in control of who she can date. She's so much control with the checklists and the Excel spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff. She's so much tight.
Yeah.
She does not want to give up her heart and give up everything. And even the fact that he ghosted her, years ago, she kind of asked him out. He ghosted her. She's really afraid of falling in love with him. I think she's really afraid of falling in love with him, because I think he's kind of like, I think it's good, and he's intellectually embracing her, but I don't know if the emotional thing is going to be there for them. That's why I think he's still in his head, but she can't open up to him. She can't. She's a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long time.
It's gonna be
even with the sex thing, when he's like, so, do you like him? And she's like, what did she say? She's like, I don't. And he's like, I'm not into anal.
Well, yeah, but
he said, I'm not into anal. I think that's cool. And she's like,
I think out of all the couples, I'm just gonna say this right now. Out of all the couples, I think that Bao and Johnny will make it based off of the culture that they have. They're gonna make this work. And I think that Johnny, because his dad was not down for that shit, I think that Johnny's gonna be like, I'm gonna make this shit work just so I can fucking look at my dad and be like, fuck you. Me and my wife is together. That's just me.
I don't know.
That's just me.
I still give them a thumbs up, but I'm not 100% there with them.
I'm not in love with them anymore.
No, me either.
I'm in love with them. I'm still in love with them. Out of all,
I think they have the best shot.
I give Johnny and Bao one thumb. They got. I'm not even giving two.
Yeah,
I'm giving them one.
I think they're the best shot, but still, there's a lot of work that needs to be done with everybody.
Yeah.
So we have Zach.
Wait, can I say one thing? One more thing. I was impressed with the spreadsheet. I think it's the only one that liked that.
I don't do that shit. No. When I go on vacation,
okay, you don't do it. But for people like her and people like me, lists. That's what I mean. I live by list. I get it.
That's ridiculous, Shahida.
That's ridiculous.
How do you go on a vacation? And why can't you just go on vacation and just go in your closet and pull your clothes out and throw them out in the bag?
You know why?
I can't do that. I am not doing it.
Can I finish? Can I finish? You know why? Because I'm the type of person that if I just do it on the whim, I forget stuff. So I make a list, whether it be on an Excel spreadsheet or my grid notebook, and then I check it off. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing crazy about a list.
I think it's extreme, but I think it's okay. I think it's he likes that. So
he didn't like he thought hers was extreme. I mean, she was like down to the outfit. Extreme. I mean, she went a little bit.
Oh my God, he put his shoes. He put his shoes. How cute.
I mean, to each their own. But I'm just not that person. Like I'm like. If I go on vacation,
I can tell you one thing: Johnny's auntie and mommy love them some bow.
Oh yes,
they love her.
But she made a great first impression. Just he did too. They made great.
It's a respect thing. That's the culture. She respected them. She showed up and was like, "What?" She went to his mother. This is what happens. She went to his mother and she's like, "What shall I call you?" And she's like, "You can call me auntie or mom." And Bao was like, "Oh, I can call you mom? Okay, yes, call me mom." Because that's all that bitch wanted, for her to call her mom. Mm-hmm. That's all she wanted.
I think if she loosens up a little, they have a shot. They have the best shot.
I think that Bao and Johnny are the only couple in this season that I think has a shot. They're going to make it work because of the culture alone. They're going to make that shit work. The rest of the
we know who's fucking. Well, we know who's fucking though. The first couple to be fucking.
Oh, Zach and Michaela.
Michaela and Zach fucked and fucking blew each other's backs out.
He said, "I don't want to be disrespectful, but if my nights end up like last night, I'm gonna be a happy married man." Yeah. Well, they have a lot of, and
when they were talking, and she was like in his hair. She was like.
And she picked this thing off. Did you see that?
And I was like, "Oh yeah, you fucked."
And she picked something. He had something on his thing. She picked it off. I was like, "Oh."
I'm like, "You fucked."
Yeah.
Y'all handle that shit.
Their family interaction was really good too. I really liked the family interaction. Now I was really thrown off with the father-daughter dance at the wedding. It's like, how do you make that announcement when you know her father is not there? I'm like,
because it's TV. And that's what they did for her. That's what they did to her.
Did they do it for the other couples? Like Mryla, her father wasn't there. I didn't hear anything about a father-daughter.
They knew it was Gil's father there because he died too. They both got murdered. And it's like, here we are.
So that was like really kind of like dramatic, purposeful.
Shady. They did it for the dramatics.
Yeah, that was stupid. And then I did like that. His father asked her to dance. And
I appreciated that his father stepped up and was like, "Come on, Michaela, let's go dance." Because when I saw that shit pained me. I was sad for her because I was like, "Oh, next up is the father." It would come Michaela. It's the father and daughter dance, and her face and her sister's faces at the other table was like, "Yo, you didn't know this? You didn't know this shit was going down? Like, our dad died."
He's a mama's boy.
Oh,
he's definitely a mama's boy.
Oh, did you?
Because
see
the way the father was
talking,
Mama's
side eye at the brunch,
and when she was meeting with them and talking about that, And she defended him to no end. She was like, well, no, he's not. Because if I was like, he's spoiled or whatever, and I was like, no, he's just not. He's just particular or something like that. I was like, oh, yeah, that's what that is. He's a mama's boy.
Total mama's
So
boy.
it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. See, I don't like the fact that we know some shit went down.
Right.
Because it's going to happen in the season. I don't like that because I want to take it as it comes. So right now, as it comes, I would say because he's still gung-ho when he met with the sisters, Oh, I also like the fact, really, just a real call, that Gil knew everybody's name.
Thank you.
He was like, you're Johnny, you're so-and-so, and you're so-and-so.
Thank you.
I was like, that's respect. I was like, that respect. You remember all those dudes' names that were friends. I bet you Mryla didn't know his friend's name or didn't even give a shit. But anyway, going back to the family thing, when Zach was with the three sisters, and the three sisters were talking about, she's the youngest. We need you to protect her more too. You would be the protector now. And he's like, yeah. I believe he's in it. I really do believe that he's in it for her. And I don't know what's gonna happen. I hate that. I hate thinking that something's gonna happen, and we know something's happening.
I think that he thinks he's all in it. Zach, I'm talking about Zach. I think that Zach thinks he's all in it, but I have a feeling that Zach is gonna show his whole natural ass, and he ain't gonna be in it, and that's why Michaela is gonna lose her shit. Again, you got a man that's all about, I just wanted to be married. I just want a wife and I want this and that. And now you got the wife. And no, I don't think he's going to be happy with what he has. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I agree with Chris that seeing that whole season, long like preview, it was just not a good move because we all have preconceived ideas now.
Right. You can see Jose and Rachel making out in front of the rest of them. You see them making out in front of everybody when they're all together?
Yep, I saw that.
They tongued each other down in front of the group sitting out the pool.
All right.
Last night? I must have missed it.
No, when they showed the preview. They showed the previews of
I thought we wasn't watching the previews. No, the long previews. Oh, I don't remember that. Oh, really?
Well, I saw that, Chris. And I was like, and then all of a sudden, really? You want into this shit? No, I saw that all of a sudden it was like, oh, well, they're doing that and they're doing that, and everybody was all.
I think it's gonna be a good season though. It's gonna be an interesting season. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, very interesting.
I want to know what's good because there's a lot of volatility going on. There is a lot of volatility.
That's what I felt like this episode. I know you thought it was boring, but I don't know. There was like those family conversations ticked off a lot for me. So I'm going to be interested to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get that, but I was just like an hour and 25 minutes or 2 hours. I'm like, this is way too much time here. Like,
but they waste a lot of time regardless. I mean, what were episode? What's 5? No, 4.
What yeah, but I'm like, get in a fucking honeymoon. I don't give a fuck about anybody else and your brunches and shit. Yeah, I get it where the families are trying to figure them out. But I'm like, let's get over this. Let's get to the honeymoon. Let's get to the fucking nuts, the meat and nuts.
So was that the last couple?
That's the last couple. So Johnny and Val's the only one that I'm giving a little one thumbs up to. What?
I said there was nothing else about Zach and Michaela that like their conversation, their breakfast conversation. I just feel like they click so well. They're so open. They're so inviting to each other. I don't know. I really do like them as a couple, and I am upset.
And I think maybe their connection is because the both of them wanted to be so married so bad.
Well,
it has nothing to do with love.
That they wanted to be married so bad.
It has everything to be like, I want to be married.
Mm-hmm.
That's
well,
all
how
I
else would you act if you? I mean, you get on that show because you want to be married, unless you want to be on
Well,
TV.
true. But do you want to be married? I mean, look at friggin' Mryla. You're on the fucking show. Do you want to be married because you want to be in love?
So
and
how
have
does
a
that count
husband?
as a minus or against them if they want to be married and then they're hooked up and they're like happy that they're with a person that they feel connected to? Because I really think that if they had met at a bar, they would hit it off.
Would never work. With Gil and Mryla, it would have never worked.
No, I'm not talking
Mryla
about
and Gil?
Mryla. I'm talking about Michaela and Zach.
Zach? Probably not either.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
You think they'd hit it off if they met at a bar?
I mean, they might if they were trying to fuck that night because of course Michaela don't give a shit. She's willing to fuck anything. She said it in the before she met Zach when the professionals went to her house or apartment and they were like, "When's the last time you had sex?" And she's like, "Oh, 2 days ago."
Oh, I don't.
She has no filter.
But I think that she's friendly enough and he's friendly enough that if they had met in a different setting, that maybe they might not end up dating, but I can definitely see them.
They'll fuck.
Or just being friends.
Maybe.
Yeah, they'll fuck.
They
And
both
maybe
be very
friends.
personable.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
That's it. That's it for.
That's it.
That's it. All right. So till next.
We'll
next
see what
week.
happens next week.
You all watched the previews though, right?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
You didn't watch the preview, Tanya?
You watched the previews too?
Oh, it just ran. I was like, what is this? I was like, oh, fuck.
Okay, yes, I admit I lied. I watched the previews because it just showed up. And yes, I saw it, and I'm not going to say anything about it.
All right. Well, I didn't watch it, so at least I got something to look forward to next.
Good.
All right, guys. Till next week.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace out. All right, let me end this. And hey.